Hey, what's up everyone? Danny and Alex once again in a new video for Jiu-Jitsu. In this video, we're gonna show you guys 4 different arm lock attacks that you can do from the close guard position. Check it out. All right, so our first technique is gonna be the Kimura arm lock from the close guard position. So now my hands are gonna be on the mat. This is a very basic move, but it's important to always notice all of the important details. Alex is gonna seize my wrist, right? So notice how he moved his hips and his shoulders. So from this position here, using the thumb around the wrist, he's gonna come up to his elbow and wrap using an overhook on top of my elbow to seize my arm, right? So from this position here, it's very important that he tries to grab his own wrist to get that Kimura lock, okay? Now from this position, he's gonna lie down on his back, bringing the arm with him. Okay, so now I'm really seized up and I'm trapped. Now if you notice, the leg is gonna be on the back. He's gonna put this in prevention for me from escaping, passing the guard, or even rolling forward. So once he's here, what he needs to do is remove the body weight that's on him. Right, so all of my weight is on my shoulder onto his stomach, so it's not comfortable. So what he needs to do now is shrimp. He's gonna scoot his butt out one more time, and now notice how I start to lean towards the ground, and he's gonna finish that Kimura lock. One of the common mistakes that people will do is they'll usually sit up forward. Okay, so if he tries to crunch up like this, it makes it very challenging for him to get a proper angle. And he's gonna bump right into me. So he's gonna go sideways, creating that angle, which makes it very easy for him to sit up. All of his weight is posted on this elbow here. Rotate and circle my arm, okay? Very important here. Once I realize that he's trapping, I'm gonna try to fight out and resist. So his bicep, just like the Americana video we did previously, his bicep is actually seizing my tricep. So as long as the elbow is seized, I can't free my arm. The more I lift, I have to carry his body weight. Okay, so now my arm is trapped, so now he's gonna try to connect and sandwich my arm between his chest and his own arm. The moment he wraps this up, he's gonna lie down onto his back, rotate from his left shoulder to his right. Watch this. He's gonna turn, and now turn towards me. That's a common mistake. A lot of people turn on the opposite direction, and that makes it very challenging for him to finish the Kimura lock. So he's gonna turn towards me, and now from here, bring my arm to my ear, tap. So in the next technique, we're actually gonna show you guys how to get the Kimura lock, but seizing it from a sweep. So a lot of times when my hands are posted like this, I'm also using a better posture. A lot of times people are gonna be postured like this, putting one hand on the mat. The hand on the mat is something I should never do as someone kneeling in someone's close guard, but it happens a lot. We study tournaments, we study a lot of tape, and a lot of people will still post a hand or sometimes 2 hands, which is a common mistake. All right, so we're gonna capitalize on that and seize the wrist, okay? Even if my arms were on his stomach, he's just gonna peel everything off and bring and redirect my palms to the mat, okay? So we're gonna start from here. Once he sees this, he's gonna reach up for the wrist, but now what he wants is to get that sweep. So he's gonna sit up and reach for the back of my belt, okay? Once I know as a counter, a lot of times I'm gonna put a lot of weight and create that angle for a post so he can't sweep me in this direction. So what Alex is gonna do now is seize the wrist and go back to the first attack by catching a Kimura lock tap, okay? Let's do this from a different angle. Now seize the wrist, he comes up, I'm posturing away. He reaches for the hip bump sweep, but now I start to fight this by putting all of the weight on my arm to prevent that sweep. And now he's gonna grab, circle, and fall down with the Kimura from here and bring this in front of his lap, in front of his knee. Very good. Okay, let's do this one more time. Alex is gonna sit up, trap the wrist, come up, go for the sweep. As he climbs up for the sweep, he's posted on his hand. I know, so I'm gonna put a lot of weight on his hand to prevent that sweep. He's gonna continue wrapping the arm with the overhook and seize the wrist. As he falls back, boom, brings me right into the Kimura. Our third technique, we're gonna show you guys a basic arm lock, but what we're gonna do is a variation of the basic arm bar that most people know in Jiu-Jitsu. This one, I like to refer to it as the shotgun arm bar. Why? Because you're gonna imagine you're holding a shotgun with a palm underneath and the other one on top. Okay, so now, sometimes my hands are gonna be posted on him. I don't have a grip or I don't have my hands on the mat. I'm not holding his belt. I'm just leaning like this to try to prevent him from breaking my posture and set up some guard passes. But when I lean like this, what Alex is gonna do is push my hand by grabbing. He can also grab the sleeve and push my hand to redirect it and create that angle. He's already created that angle, so he doesn't need to move his body just yet. What he's gonna do from this position here is trap my wrist using his armpit like this, see? Just trapping and closing that door. Now he's gonna go underhook by swimming his hand underneath and cupping my tricep. So your thumb and middle finger is gonna actually trap and seize that arm. From this position here, it's gonna make it very challenging for me to free my arm, but what's gonna make it good is posture. So to prevent that, he's gonna hold behind my neck, and now I'm stuck. So now my chest and my own body weight is actually seizing my arm, and my arm is sandwiched between ourselves. Okay, so now he's gonna create that angle. He's gonna post on the mat with his left foot and scoot his hips, scoot to the side. And now all he needs to do is push my face and pass the leg. One. Now he doesn't move anything else. Notice how he keeps the palm behind the elbow, and now he's gonna use his pelvis and bridge upwards. Tap. One more time. So we're here. He's gonna shove the arm to the side, overhook it, and swim his hand right underneath the elbow. From this position here, he's gonna latch onto my head, bring me towards him, and now create an angle by scooting his hips, passing the leg. And driving upwards, very good. What's very important here with the shotgun is to bring this kneecap towards this shoulder right here. See, as he turns, it creates more pressure, and now it bridges. Okay, so this type of arm lock, you don't need to bridge as much. And when you practice with a training partner, be very careful because you're latching the elbow with your own palm. So it generates a lot of leverage to finish the arm lock. All right, so on our last sequence of arm locks, we're gonna show you guys a lot of times people will position themselves like this. They're gonna be holding on to the bicep. See how I'm holding on to the bicep? I'm gonna use this as a defense mechanism because I know if I'm holding on to the bicep, even though he's gonna grab the collar, there's not much he can do. So the scissor sweep, the collar chokes are gone. But the more I'm pressing onto his arm like this to keep my position, the more I'm giving him an opportunity to attack the arm lock. Okay, so now all he's gonna do is rotate to the side by putting a foot on the hip and creating that angle to turn his body sideways. See how he turns 45 degrees? And now he's gonna pass his leg over the head. And now he's gonna finish getting through the arm lock, okay? So it's important to look at the details of how we're gonna switch the grips, okay? So what's gonna really maintain center line is the leg passing through the shoulder, over the neck, onto my head on the opposite side, which will redirect my arm in his center line to finish the arm bar. One of the common mistakes is people will actually keep this calf very tight against the rib cage. Right? As he climbs up, he squeezes here, makes it very challenging for him to turn to the side. The trick is to imagine that this leg is gonna be very loose and it's gonna dangle towards the ceiling. So that way there, it makes it easy for him to create that angle. I'm holding onto the bicep, putting a lot of weight here. He's gonna grab the collar, put a foot on the hip, and now when he rotates, he's gonna extend his legs towards the ceiling. And now the elbow is on the hip. When he passes the leg over, it brings the elbow right into the center line. He's gonna trap the wrist so I don't bend and block. Very good. All right guys, once again, thanks for watching our video on Jiu-Jitsu techniques. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. As usual, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't so already. Until next time guys, keep training hard, hit the mats, and we'll see you guys
in the next video.
Take care.